Hey guys, it's Heather from Kell of a Plan, and I'm super excited about today's video. In today's video, I am partnering with Arteza to bring you guys a watercolor planner page where I'm actually going to design my own planner page, and I'm going to paint it with their watercolors. I love these watercolors. I have become obsessed with them since I received them. They come with a brush, a water brush that you put water inside, and then all of these really great colors. And then I'm going to be using their watercolor paper because it just does an amazing job with the watercolors. It doesn't curl up or anything like that. You can use watercolors directly on your planner page, but it's going to bleed through and it's going to cause the pages to curl. And so you would want to do it on like extra pages and then tape them into your regular planner so that it doesn't mess up your other pages, if that makes sense. But today I'm going to make my own planner pages. So I have pulled out 2 of their watercolor pages. Actually, looks like I pulled out 3. And the first thing you need to do is you need to trim the paper down so that it's the right size. So I am just going to pull out a blank piece of notebook paper, and I am going to note where I need to cut. Okay, then I'm going to grab my paper cutter and trim the page down. And I'm doing this in a classic planner, so I'm trimming this down to a classic size so that I can then tape it into my planner. Now this paper is pretty thick, so keep that in mind when you do this. If you missed my video last time I used this paper and paints, I created dividers for my planner, which I really loved. So be sure to check that video out. I'll link it in the description. I also have an entire playlist of videos that I have partnered with Arteza to show you, and it's a really cool playlist if you haven't checked it out, because it's showing basically with my partnership with Arteza, what I do is I take art supplies that you might have or that you might want to order, and I show how to use them in your planner. So supplies that you may not normally think of to use in your planner, I show you how to use them, and it's a really fun series. So I'm going to use my planner punch to punch this so that I can pop it into my planner. I'm going to punch that side and this side. Okay. And again, this is the paper pad that I used. I will link that in the description as well in case you want to order the watercolor paper. I really love it. So now I have my left and right side, and I'm actually thinking that what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this into kind of a dashboard layout where I have all of the days of the week over here, and over here is more like boxes. So I'm thinking I'm going to use this piece of paper first, and I'm using a pencil. I want to sketch out kind of how I want this layout to look, and then I'm going to paint around it. And then I'll come back and go back over these lines with a marker after I paint, is what I'm thinking. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is kind of the middle. One, two. Okay, so this will be like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And then over here, I'm thinking over here will be more like boxes. And I'm going to end up painting over some of this. That's why I don't want to draw the lines yet, because some of the lines I may not actually draw if there's like, if it's painted over, if that makes sense. Okay, so that'll be my left side and my right side. And now I'm going to pull out my paints and I'm going to start painting on these pages. I pulled out an extra watercolor page to use as like backdrop so that I don't get it all over my desk. And I've got my brush and I'm ready to start painting. So I am thinking, originally I was going to paint some florals like around the edges, but now I'm wondering if I would rather just paint color on this side. So what I'm going to do, I like to squeeze just a little bit of water from the brush into the yellow. And then I'm thinking that I may just, and then pull it, because I want it to look watercolored. I don't want it to be that thick of color. And just really I love yellow. Yellow's like my favorite. So okay, so I have kind of faded out that yellow because I pulled it so much. But what I may do now is let it be a little bit of a brighter yellow. And then kind of pull that down just so that it looks a little more faded into the color. Do the similar thing over here where it's a thicker yellow. Pull it down to the bottom a little bit, but not too much. Okay. Clean off the brush. And my other favorite color is pink. So I was thinking adding pink, and I really want it to be a darker pink in the middle and then fade into a paler pink on the edges, kind of like I did on the bottom, but the bottom was yellow. So grab some of that pink, make it a little bit darker here and here. Let that bleed into the yellow a little bit. Okay, now I've taken a little bit of pink and I really want to just let it shake out. Then the reason I'm doing it this way is because I don't want it to be a lot of pink, because this is the part I'm going to write on. So, but I do want it to like have some pink tint to it, but without it being so dark that it's hard to write on top of. So that gives it like a pink tint. And so now I basically want to do the same thing, but with yellow. So let's get some yellow and then drop it. Okay. Looks like the yellow is a little bit darker than the pink, which is kind of surprising. Oops. Okay, so here I'm going to put some yellow in the middle. And then I think I want to put some pink in the middle as well. And then, oops. Blend them together. Okay, that actually looks kind of pretty. So, we're gonna set that aside to dry. And what I'm gonna do over here, I think is the same thing, but opposite. So I'm gonna do pink on the bottom and yellow on the top, is kind of what I'm thinking. So up here, I want it to be a darker pink, drug down into a lighter pink. So on here can be a little bit of a lighter pink. But up here, and then over here, let's do a little bit darker. And then pull it down. And to get it lighter, what I'm doing is I'm just adding more water to it. So up at the top, it doesn't have as much water. And down here, it has more water. Okay, and that kind of helps. And then I could go ahead and do this part. Earlier I did them separate, but I think it's fine to go ahead and do it. You could probably do this with a brush as well, but I just don't know. I just added a lot more water because I felt like it was a little too dark. So I just dipped my finger in water, and then I'm just pulling that color. Okay. Let's clean the brush off. Make it a thicker yellow up here. Then I'm gonna dip it in water to help pull it down. Also, you could probably tell I am not some master watercolor. There's probably like real techniques to use and real words to describe what I'm doing. But I really just want to show you guys that you don't have to be a master watercolor to A, use watercolors, and B, to use watercolors in your planner. You just have to do it. And that's one of my favorite things about this partnership that I have going with Arteza is they're sending me products that I normally wouldn't use, and it's encouraging me to just do it, just to try it in your planner and not to be afraid of trying new things. And that's like one of my favorite things. So if nothing else, I hope that this at least encourages you to try new things in your planner and to make it your own, to put your own artistic twist on things. There's no right or wrong. I mean, I feel like I'm showcasing that pretty well right now because I have no clue what I'm doing, but I'm doing it anyway. Let's grab some more pink. And blend. Okay, so it's a lot darker on this side than it is on my other side. Okay, now I want to take some pink and some water, and I want to blend it this way. Okay, I don't like this side as much as I liked the other side. I think I did too much, but it's okay. I'm gonna make it work. So I'm gonna go wash my hands, and then we'll come back and work on this some more. These are the two pages side by side. You can see that this has a lot more mixture than it does over here, but over here is where I'm gonna be doing more of my day-to-day writing, so I'm actually okay with it, but I do feel like I need to add something more. So I was thinking, because you guys know I love florals, so I was thinking about adding a floral or two down here in the corner. So that's going to be the center of my flower. And I'm going to stay with the pink and the yellow, but I'll just make it darker so that you can see it. And I'm going to do one of these, which technically shouldn't have had a yellow center, but I didn't think about that, so. And then maybe a smaller Okay, now I'm going to set that over here to dry, and I'm going to do the same florals in this corner so that it matches and it's balanced. But this time I won't put the weird yellow center. That was, I don't really know what kind of flower this is that I'm painting. I don't know what you would call it, but it definitely doesn't have a yellow center. So we're just gonna go with the flow. Now, since this is taking up most of this box, normally this would be Monday, but I think I'll just do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then just let this corner be decorative. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Okay, I do feel kind of like there should be green, but also I don't really want to add in another color. So now I'm going to spin this around so that I can get to the black. And I'm going to use the black to actually, you could use a pen to do this. I'm using the watercolor because I want it to have a watercolor look to it. Okay, that means it may not be perfectly straight because I'm using a brush, but I'm okay with that. If you're not okay with that, I would suggest using a pen and a ruler. But I kind of want it to have that watercolor look. Now you can see that the page is kind of curling from the paint a little bit, so I'll end up probably taping this onto some other pages so that it'll lay flat in my planner. But at the same time, when you put it on discs, it's going to make it lay flatter anyway. Okay, so I'm going to set that to the side. Now I'm going to do this side. You can still see the pencil here, but what I'll do is when it dries, I'll go in and erase that pencil. But you just have to wait for it all to dry all the way so that you don't mess up the paint. Sorry, I know I'm being a little bit quiet, but I'm trying to make sure that I paint these lines as straight as I can. They're not perfect, but again, it's watercolor, so I don't expect it to be perfect. I actually really like the bold black against the watercolor background though. I think it helps. It just looks really good. I really like it. Okay. I'm kind of wondering if over here I should close these boxes up so that it matches. I think I'm going to. Yeah, I like that better. Just because now I've got these bold black lines over here and I have the same bold black lines over here. I hope you guys can see this and I'm not like I am a little bit off the camera. I apologize for that. Let me move these paints. Now I have these bold black lines on both sides. That's what I was trying to say. I really like that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to try, this may be an epic fail, but I'm going to try and use this brush to letter in these boxes. This, if you're gonna do this, I'm gonna tell you, you need to write big words, because I could not write any smaller with this brush than what I'm writing right now. So just so you know, don't try and write tiny. This is a big brush. Okay. Says this week I'm going to pull some of that ink over so that it's a little bit darker. Okay, and then I'm gonna make check boxes. Okay, this week, now I wish I had done these boxes first, because now I'm looking at this and I'm like, I can't really like right up here because I'll smear that. So I'm gonna have to wait for that to dry. So I'm gonna set that to the side and I'm gonna pull this one out. Now, I just said not to write, try to write really small. Monday. Oh man. See what I did here? I didn't wait for it to dry all the way. Tuesday. I'm gonna have to figure out a way to cover that up because that does not look good. Wednesday's a long word. I hope I can fit it in this box. There we go. Wednesday. Thursday. Friday. It has a lot of water on that S. Okay, so if you're going to write, don't have a lot of water on your brush. I had way too much water on my brush for that Saturday, and that's why I think it doesn't look that good. So this time I'm going to dab some of the water off. You could also have done this part with a pen so that it wouldn't take up so much space in the box, because it does take up a lot of space to write out the words like this. Okay, so here I'm going to make a little note like that and write out, I'll write date night probably with a pen. Tuesday is usually when I run some errands, so I'm going to put some checklist. We'll put some more checklist here. Some arrows there. some more checklists here on Wednesday. Okay, and that's pretty much it over here, so let that dry. And then over here, I'm gonna put the word dinner, and I'm gonna meal plan in this box. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. That's my main goal, is to cook at home these 4 days. So, and then I did it again. I'm gonna paint the date in this box, but I should have done that first because now I can't get over here without smearing this. So that's what I'll do at the end. But I want to show you guys these 2 pages now that we're done. Okay, and I'm going to grab my planner so that you guys can see what it would look like on the discs. So, and what I would probably do is I would take my pages and I would tape them down to just regular note paper so that they lay flat. But that's what it would look like in my planner. I think that looks really cute, and it's super different than what I normally create, but I really love it. So if you like this video, I hope you hit the like button. If you want to check out any of these products from Arteza, then check out the links in the description. If you want to see more of my videos, hit the subscribe button, and happy planning.